Okay, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good afternoon everyone. Good afternoon Memang. My name is Muhammad Rizky Gifari and I am as the first presenter from the 9 group, and the topic is about the problem solving assessment. So let's talk about the definition first. The definition about the problem solving assessment is started from the problem solving itself. A formal definition of problem solving is given by Anderson 1980 that problem solving is defined as any goal-directed sequence of cognitive operations. So, it means that problem solving are those particular words, problem, which relate to different branches from the subject, also covering the aspect of reasoning and logical thinking. And according Hammers and Caspol 1999 wrote that if we want to teach children to think, then we are aiming to improve their problem-solving ability. And Skinner in 1957 also added that the problem-solving is a process of overcoming difficulties that appears to interfere with the attainment of goal. It is procedure of making adjustment in spite of interferences. Okay, next slide is the problem-solving assessment is an instructional method or technique whereby the teacher and pupils attempt in a conscious, planned, purposeful effort to arrive of some explanation or solution to some educational significant difficulty for the purpose of finding a solution. So problem solving assessment is a set of tools and skill or possessed by students in solving the problems and applying in a daily life. In other words, if a student is trained to solve a problem, he will be able to make a decision because he has been skilled at how to gather relevant information, analyze that information, and realize how necessary to re-examine the results obtained. And with this problem-solving ability, it will become a means for a student to hone careful, logical, critical, analytical, and creative reasoning. So you can say that the students are presented with problems which require them to find either a scientific or technological solution. It is a student-centered strategy which requires students to become active participants in the learning process. So the next slide we will talk about the purpose. The purpose has 4 points. The first one is train the students in the act of reasoning. The second one is gain and improve the knowledge. The third one is solve puzzling questions. And the last one is overcome the obstacles in the attainment or objectives. Okay, let's move into the next part. The next part is the steps. There are 5 steps to conduct a problem-solving assessment. The first one is formation and appreciation the problem. The nature of the problem should be made very clear to the students so that they can understand the actual solutions for the problem. And the next step is the collection of relevant data and information. The students should be stimulated to collect the data in a systematic manner. Full cooperation of the students should be secured. So the teacher may suggest many points to them, like extra books for read, organize a few educational trips to gather the relevant information. Okay, the third one is organization of data. The student should be asked to sift the relevant material from the superficial one, put in a scientific way. The fourth one, drawing a conclusion. After the organizing data discussions, the student should be arranged collectively and individual with each student so that essential thing is done by the students themselves and that their educative process provides the particular solutions. And we should care to take that the judgment is made only when sufficient data is collected. So the last step is testing the conclusions. No conclusion should be accepted without being properly verified. The corrections of the conclusion must be proved. So that was all of the steps that we as the teacher must conduct when we want to do some problem solving assessment in our class. So those 5 steps should be all done. It means that we cannot separate the steps or remove it because it is important to ourselves and to our students. Okay, next slide. I will tell you about the teacher's role in problem solving. The first one is maintain the spirit of discovery among the students. As a teacher, we should give our students fire up to follow our instructions and to follow our explanation. And the second one is give proper guidance to the students from the beginning till the solutions is reached. As a teacher, we need to guide our students from the start until finish. And the third one is extend optimum help to each student in case difficulties are experienced. So we need to help our students if they have the difficulties in facing the materials we give to them. And the fourth one is supply only extra information regarding the problem. And the last one is establish rapport with students for the smooth competition of the work. Okay, the next slide I will tell you about a little bit about the teacher's role from above, from the slide before. Get them to evaluate each suggestions carefully by encouraging them. So as the teacher, we need to maintain a state of doubt or suspended a conclusion. And then after you do that in the class, as the teacher, we need to criticize the suggestions by appeal to know the facts and experiment. Okay, next, get them to organize the material by proceeding. As a teacher, we need to build an outline on the board. And as a teacher, we need to use the diagrams and graphs. So if we teach in math, maybe if we teach in math, we need to use the diagram and graphs, and we can add some descriptive about the diagrams and the graphs itself, so the students will not confuse to read the diagrams and the graphs. And the last one is to formulate concise statement of the net outcome of discussions. We can draw the conclusions after we did all of the explanations. So, as a good teacher, we can conclude that if we want to be a successful teacher, to do this assessment, a teacher who has ability to see a problem clearly. We need to see the problem clearly, and the power of analyze with a keen observation, and the faculty to synthesize and draw the conclusions with an uncanny accuracy. Okay, everyone, that's all from me. And after my presentation, Mas Aris will continue the same topic with his own materials. Thank you for your attention. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Good afternoon, Bu Anggani, and also all of my friends. My name is Aris Yardianto Putra, and I'm going to continue the presentation about problem-solving assessment. The thing that we are going to talk now is about the characteristic of the problem that is going to be used in this kind of assessment. Any problem posed before the learners should possess the following characteristic if it has to be educationally valuable. Such problems should be, the first one, they should be clear and definite. It means the problems that we are going to give to the students should be clear enough for them to understand. Next, it also have to be definite, means it should be a real thing. It should not something that can only be imagined. It also should be challenging and hence interest generating. It means it should be not something which is boring, so the student can have the interest in their brain, so they want to learn more. Next thing, it should be suitable for the age, needs, and also physical and mental capability of the pupils. It means we cannot give a too difficult problems to a low age students. And also, it is not good to give a too easy problem to a higher age students. Next, it should be related to actual life situation, because the origin of this kind of assessment is actually from medical learning. So the problem which is presented by the teacher should show in actual life. It can be found in real life situation. Next point is, the problems should be understandable for the learners who face it. Another point is, the problems should be thought-provoking. It should be interesting for the students so they want to think about it. Next, the problems should be corrected to the existing knowledge of the learners. It means it should be something that renew or improve the students' knowledge. Next, the problem should be worthwhile and of practical value. It means the problem should have the practical value in real life, because there is no use of a problem that can be solved in the classroom, but the problem itself cannot be found in real life. Next, they should be workable with the resources available, which means we should give something to the students that we have. We should make sure that we have enough resources to provide on the problems. If we do not have enough resources, it means the students also will not have enough resources and background knowledge to work on the problems. The last point is, they should be feasible within the time available, which means the time that is given for the students to solve the problem should be just enough. If the time is too short, it means the students will get difficulties and even maybe they will not understand the concept well. But if the time is too long, the students will not grasp the importance of solving the problem. On the next part, we are going to talk about the advantages of this kind of assessment. This approach is most effective in developing skill in employing the science processes. Why? It is because problem solving covers scientific thinking process that involves scientific process. For example, findings, investigation, and also critical thinking. The next advantage of problem-solving assessment is it is a general procedure in finding solution to daily occurrences that urgently need to be addressed. What does it mean? It means when we are teaching the students using problem-solving assessments, it means we are teaching them the concept of solving problem. We are not teaching them about the problem itself only. We are not teaching them about the theory only, but we teach them about how to solve the problem. So, every time when the students meet even new challenges in the real life, they will be able to solve the problem because they have the concept, they have the strategy, and they have the skill to solve the problem. The next point is the students' active involvement resulting in meaningful experiences serves as a strong motivation to follow the scientific procedures in future undertakings. This kind of assessment also develops higher level thinking skills. A keen sense of responsibility, originality, and resourcefulness are developed in this kind of assessment, which are much needed ingredients for independent study. Last, the students learn to accept the opinions and evidence shared by others. This is because the students will learn in a group instead of in individual assessment. Therefore, they will get the ability to work in group. Now, we are going to talk about the disadvantages of problem-solving assessment. The first one is, generally speaking, problem-solving involves mental activity only. Problem number 2, small children do not possess sufficient background information and therefore they fail to participate in the discussion. Last, students may not have adequate references and sources books. That's all from us. Thank you very much for your attention, and we welcome any question or comment regarding our material for today. These are our references. If you need any further information, please refer to these books. Thank you. God bless you.